Hello everyone and welcome to Harv's World for another episode of Ravensberg. Yes, I'm up and out early, moving right along, and getting this milk sold off first thing, getting that out of the way because I have got a busy couple of days ahead of me. I really do. In fact, I'm going to take a little bit of a risk here. 32 and 29. Not as good as we've gotten in the past, but it'll do okay. About 61,000. 61,000 in milk today. So, we're doing okay. We are doing okay by the end of the day, however. That money is not going to be around because I've got some things I want to accomplish today in a big way. But more importantly, we are running out of time before winter sets in, and I still want to try to get my fields planted before that happens. I've got 2 days. I am going to be scrambling. I've already got a helper working on our big field putting manure down, so at least that's something. But money will be spent today, and we're going to do something. We're really going to start advancing Frau Baumann. I mean, not that she hasn't advanced at all, but something a little bit special. We're going to make the place, well, you'll see. You'll see. You will see. In fact, everything is a bit of a mess right now, too. That's not helping at all. Stuff is scattered all over the place, but hopefully, within the next couple of days here, that will get itself sorted out as well. And I am still looking at chickens. I'm still considering how best to incorporate Frau Baumann's chickens, but they have special feeding requirements also, so I can't really bring them in until I've got the crops harvested that I need to keep them fed up. Not fed up as in fed up like I'm sick of being a chicken. Goodbye, cruel world. I no longer wish to chicken. No, nothing of the sort. Now I've got 2 fields that need to be harvested ASAP. I want this mower. I want this mower right here, right now. And you can see all my equipment's down here by the big cow barn. I will explain that here in just a minute. But the big field number 5, has a lot that needs to happen to it before anything can go in there because it needs lime. So between lime and fertilizer, we are going to have a lot of work to do over there. I still need to get that canola harvested. I'm hoping we can get that in today. Right now the crop moisture is too high. I can tell that because if you look at the top of my screen on the far left, you see that cloud. To the right of it, that little symbol means crop moisture. And crop moisture is too high to harvest, so at least I can tell that from there. And I've already forgotten something that I really need to do before anything else happens. Oops, I need to borrow a milk trailer. Harv. Now I'm scrambling and trying to keep track of too many things at the same time. There's one little tiny thing I have to do before I can move forward today. I'm trying to get work done while the crop moisture is low or high, because I've got to get that harvester out. Now I did sell off the sunflower seeds. Those sold for about 45,000 ish, right in that neighborhood, so that helped out a little bit. It's a decent cash crop for what we got off that field, but there will be no more cash crops. At least not for the time being, especially if Frau Baumann wants her chickens. I mean, I've got the canola to harvest. The canola will be a cash crop. I need to empty this tank of herbicide. I bought about 4,000 liters of herbicide a few days ago, just to get us stocked up. Come on, brother. There we go. Now I can get back to my mowing and other things. Time's a-wasting. Time is a-wasting. I am just going to have a helper do this so that I can do other things while the helper is chugging away on some clover. There we go. So my big goal for today is to clean up this barnyard. Get it all sorted out, tucked away, and I'm going to put in an extension for this silo that should carry us far, far into the future. So yes, I'm going to be selling off these old barns. About like so. And I want to move this tank. The only way to move it is to sell it. So, without much further ado, it's time for a little barnyard action. And when I'm done, hopefully, this will be a much, much, much nicer place. And there we go. A nice, clean, and pristine farmyard. Absolutely outstanding. Look at that. Now we've got some nice new storage for our sheds. We've got a very clean yard. Plenty of rooms to put more stuff in. All of my seed, fertilizer, and all of that stayed the same, but I did bring this over to park right here. And yes, I did slow down time just a little bit to make sure that that this didn't override anything. So we are good to go in the farmyard. Outstanding. Now, some of you might be wondering, why didn't you take these trees out? I like the trees. That's the honest answer. You know, they add a little bit of disorganization to a very organized space. That might seem a little counterintuitive to some folks, but I happen to think it looks lovely. Absolutely lovely. And again, plenty more room to put stuff in as needed. Okay, the helper finished spreading manure on field 5. That's a bloody good thing. And this field needs a coat of lime. I may not have enough. I hope no, I'm not going to have enough, so I'm going to have to run and pick up a bulk load of lime. Oh, so you see how fast our money went down today? It went down very, very quickly. Very quickly indeed. I told you I was going to spend money today. I told you I was. So between cleaning up the farmyard, putting in a new silo, putting in a new shed, and replacing that herbicide tank, which wasn't really that expensive, if I'm completely honest, we're down to 96,000 euros today already, and it's just the beginning of the day. Oh, maybe I'll have enough. Now, I did put in a nice, big, fat, gnarly silo extension, which should carry us far, far, far into the future. It costs 130,000 euros. Why is that one little spot? One little spot that doesn't need lime? Is that what we're talking about here? Guess not. But it's going to give us all the storage we'll ever need. 130,000 euros. And I'll show you this bad boy right here if you couldn't see it before, but snuck it right in there. Yeah, it's not quite lined up, but there's a light pole in the way. So I couldn't get it like side by side, but that's neither here nor there. So much to get done. And I'm taking a risk. I am going to take a big risk on seeding before winter, if I can get there. But again, if Frau Baumann wants her chickens, and we know at this point she really wants those chickens, you know, that's not going to be that expensive. Chickens can go in, assuming I can find a place for them. Chickens can go in. Probably less than 100,000. Actually, significantly less than 100,000 euros. But generating the feed that they're going to need is going to be quite the challenge, because I'm going to need wheat. I'm going to need Some type of, well, it's either soybeans, yeah, soybeans or, what was that? Can't remember now. But one thing that's going to be particularly challenging is they're going to need either carrots or sugar beets. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Carrots or sugar beets. So I'm not, well, I have a pretty good idea of how I'm going to handle all of that. It's just a matter of getting it sorted out. Plus, I still need to keep plenty of room to be producing what I need for cattle feed. So things are ramping up here on Frau Bauman's farm just to get her some bloody chickens. Just so she can have her chickens and her full-blown local dairy operation, which is really, I like the idea. I salute her for it, applaud her for it, or whatever you want to call it. But it's going to take time. It's going to take some major, major amounts of time. And I'll tell you, yep, I'm going to run out of lime. So I did have to go get more lime. Of course I did. Why? Because this is Harv we're talking about here. Things don't always go as planned. They rarely go as planned. At least that's been my experience. And I really, really, really need to keep an eye on that crop moisture that's not coming down at all. The temperatures aren't coming up very much today. I could end up losing this canola crop. I really could. Well, it waited until 4 o'clock. But at least it finally showed up. The crop moisture, anyway, finally dropped off enough to get into this canola field. Although my window here is going to be very, very narrow. Very narrow indeed. So I need to move through this as quickly as I bloody well can. I said on. Thank you very much. That's better. I don't expect a lot off this canola field, maybe 10,000 liters, but it's still a little extra money that will come in. And I do have one more piece of equipment that I want to purchase for the farm. Since we have cows that aren't getting any straw, we're going to have a little extra manure of a different type to take advantage of. I'm sure you know exactly what I mean. Slurry. Yep, slurry is going to be the ticket, which will be nice actually if we've got manure in one barn, slurry in another. You can actually back-to-back fertilize with manure and slurry, so it could be manure, slurry, manure, or vice versa. Could be either one. Just depends on how you want to do it. And then, of course, we always have the backup chemical fertilizer, too, if we need it, but that costs money. And don't let me forget, I did empty out that tank of herbicide. At least I think I did. I don't know. It's hard telling with me. But I need to wash that out extra good, since it's also a milk trailer, and yes, that seems a little counterintuitive, but I wasn't going to spend money on another tanker just to move a little bit of herbicide so I could move the tank over. I'm sure you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm going to keep pushing, trying to get this canola in before tomorrow morning, because I really, really want to get this field seeded before winter sets in. And this is going to be my carrot field. I am definitely planting carrots here. Well, my harvesting window closed very, very quickly. I had about 2 hours in that field to harvest canola. Got it halfway done. Only halfway, so I'm over here working. It's only 6 o'clock, and look how dark it's getting already. I'm trying to get this clover turned into hay. The more hay I can store, the better, even though I'm sure we've got enough cattle feed to get us through winter. Might as well get ahead for next season. So I'm going to keep working on this. Hopefully that window of opportunity will open again tomorrow and I can knock out the rest of that canola field, but it doesn't look like my carrots are going in before winter. We'll see, but it's not promising, is it? Ugh. I'll see you tomorrow. I worked very late into the night last night. Very late. It was actually about 1 a.m. before I went home and got a few hours of sleep. But needless to say, it's a good thing I did. Winter has come early. And I'm just getting the daily milk sale done because this is going to be pretty much a daily run from this point forward. Look at this. It's still late autumn. And we've got an early snow. And you know what? It's predicting rain. Once it warms up enough, the snow is going to turn to rain. And things are just going to continue to be very, very ugly for the rest of the day. And what that means is I lost half my canola crop. Now, it's not gone yet, but if it's going to rain the rest of the day, there's nothing I can do with it. Nothing at all. Simply because the crop moisture won't drop low enough so that I can harvest the rest of it. And it would have been a pretty good harvest too, because I got about 9,500 liters off a half, so I would have had anywhere from 18 to 20,000 liters by the time I was done. But the window of opportunity closed on me. So, lesson learned. Get your crops harvested early. Now, I'm still hoping to get some seed in the ground if the snow will clear up. Hoping, and hoping some more. But as things stand at the moment, holy shnikes, Batman. Things got ugly around here in a hurry. At least they're keeping the roads clear. But I was not anticipating this snow at all. Well, this plow is not happy about working in the snow, I can tell you that. Man, we are struggling to pull this through the field. At least the snow has finally stopped. I don't know if it's going to warm up enough to melt it off. Let's look at our forecast. As it stands right now, 9 a.m., it should be coming up to above freezing. I mean, it hasn't been cold enough for the ground to freeze yet. That's the important part, which means we can still get some work done. Hopefully within the next hour or two, this snow will start melting off, but later this afternoon, about 5 o'clock, no. 3 o'clock, it's going to start raining, and then it's going to turn back into snow overnight. So, the people who say winter is coming, or we could just say the Starks were right. The Starks are absolutely right. Winter has come, and we don't like it. Not a bit. It's too early. Too early for winter to come. Come on, Fent. You've got this. Clearing canola and snow at the same time. The Fent is not happy, but the Fent is a powerhouse. Well, even the Fent is struggling in the fields. Can't keep the traction up. Man, the tires are just spinning and spinning and spinning. The rain has come, not before it snowed more first. So it started raining, and then the rain turned to snow, and snowed some more, and now the temperature's finally up. But if I'm going to do anything else, I'm going to fix up the fence. That's going to cost me $1,000. And it's time to put some real tires on this thing. There we go. Ooh, 5,400. Well, if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. And since the seeder I leased is a direct drill, I'm going to see if it will do anything in the field. But yeah, these tires are going to make this Fendt run a lot better. I'm trying to make the most out of this last day of autumn. This could be a huge mistake, but if that's the case, then that's the case. I don't exactly have a lot of seed left either, do I? Man, if I've got to run for more seed, that's really going to put a wrench in my works today in a big bad way. We're set up for wheat. Oh my goodness, keep your fingers crossed. Oh man, this is not going to be pretty. Look at that. Even with duals on this thing, it's wanting to slide. I don't know. I'm going to try. I have a plan for this field. It's actually a little bit unusual. But then this is Harv we're talking about, so unusual is not out of the question. Okay, let's get our GPS working, although I'll tell you, GPS hasn't been working for us very well today. Simply because oh good. Well, we're doing a lot better with the seeder than we were with the plow. GPS has been struggling today because, well, the Fendt has been spinning its tires and getting it off track, and even GPS can't pull it back in line. Now what I was talking about that's a little bit unusual about this field is I'm going to do half of it in wheat and half of it in barley. Because those are the two types of chicken feed that I'm going to need for Frau Baumann. At least the ground's not frozen. That's really the kicker here. If the ground was frozen, we'd have real problems. But as it stands right now, it's still thawed enough. It's still thawed enough that we can get the job done, hopefully. But I am starting to really run short on time here. Man, talk about in like a lion, out like a lamb. Let's hope it goes out like a lamb, because God knows it's come in like a lion. Big time. And let's hope I've got enough seed. That's really going to be the determining factor right now. Well, on the plus side, it looks like other farmers have been working their fields over here, so that gives me a little bit of hope and encouragement, I have to say. Now, that's about what I've done. It looks about half and half. It's as close as I can get it. I'm going to leave that gap in the middle, obviously, because I don't want I don't want or need to get confused during the harvest process. That's assuming we don't get rained out again, that sort of thing. And it's been raining for hours, and the snow, and the temperature's up too, by the way. But the snow just will not go away. It's just not melting off, which is strange, actually. Kind of very strange, if I'm honest. We are not going to need GPS for this. Grass. Yep, so I'm going to get my grass back in here, or finish off this grass, because I'm going to need it. I really am. we'll do it then. So far so good on the seed, by the way. Keep your fingers crossed on that too. Because I'm still going to try to get those carrots in also. It's a push. It's a mad, mad push. It just depends on whether I can get that field harvested or not. Man, I just kind of want to jump in the house over there and go grab some hot cocoa. Spike it with a little bit of rum. And be a very warm and cozy, happy man. Well, I didn't need to fully plow the rest of this field. I realize this seeder is a direct drill, and we are putting carrots in the ground. It's going to be the last thing that I do before winter officially gets here, and I'm going to keep plugging away at it. That's going to cover a goodly portion of what we need to get chickens up and running, once it's harvested anyway. And of course the carrots are going to require a little something extra to get them out of the ground. But hey, where there's a Harv, there's a way. That's what I'm going to call it. Where there's a Harv, there's a way. So I'm going to finish off this carrot planting, carrot seeding. We're going to see where winter takes us. If it's anything like today, it's going to be a brutal, brutal, brutal mess. Well, we can only do what we can only do. So I think that's going to do it for this episode of Ravensberg. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit the like button down below. I very much appreciate you coming along for the ride. And until next time, take care.